Harlem. That was Harlem, right?
Then I saw your agenda.
Oh, yes. That's the worst thing about that. That's the worst thing about that now. They keep on coming back. In the world. You know Christina? Christina works in my office. She's these are our mayor of Kern whiskey flat person.
From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Board to reconvene. Good morning, colleagues. And Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scrivener.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here. Thank you. And good morning. Welcome to the Tuesday, February 11, 2020 meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We will begin today's meeting with the flag salute led by Josh Danens. Hope I said that right. Director of Veterans Services Department, veteran himself, of course. Following the flag salute, please remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer.
Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would like to call Mr. Nick Colin, Director of Animal Services, to come out with the pet of the week, all of our favorite time of the morning. Thank you. And look
Good morning.
here. Good morning. There you are.
Thank you. Sure. Okay. Madam Chair, members of the board, I have with me this morning Cupid. Cupid is
Appropriate.
he is about a 2-year-old Chihuahua mix, and he's going to be available for adoption on Thursday morning to the hopefully a good, loving home. He doesn't seem like it, but he's a high-energy dog. He's going to take an active lifestyle to keep him happy, but we hope he's going to make somebody a really good family pet.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's going to be a good Valentine's Day for Cupid, is my suspicion. Agendas for today's meetings are located at the tables at the back of the chamber for anyone wishing to follow along. We will begin by considering the consent agenda. All items listed with a capital C, capital A are considered to be non-controversial routine by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove an item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board considering the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session item. Consent items begin on page 2 and include items 2 and 5. On page 3, items 7 through 12. On page 4, items 13 through 17 and item 19. On page 4, regarding item 16, there is a correction. Instead of one fiscal support supervisor, it should read fiscal support technician. On page 5, items 20 through 27. On page 6, items 28 through 32. On page 7, items 33 through 36. And on page 8, item 37 has a correction. Delete Oscar Carrillo, and the amount has been changed to $15,072. Items 38 and 39 are also on consent. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment on consent items? Now is your time to do so. Okay, I'll return to the board for comment, questions, or action.
Motion on consent.
Thank you, Mick.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Excuse me, the motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. We will move then to public request. We have a request of the Kernville Chamber of Commerce to allow the Whiskey Flat Days Festival honorary mayor candidates to present their campaign promises to this board. Now is the time. And welcome.
Thank you. My name is Jamie, also known as Skyrocket Jamie,
And our campaign is to raise money to save the fireworks over Lake Isabella. Because many know all of those small towns that are not incorporated don't have the funds, and it takes the funds from the community to raise money. This is my third time running. I ran in 2015 and became the honorary mayor. And my goal this time is to be honorary mayor. I would love to be able to invite my opponent up. However, he must have had something more important going on in Tehachapi that couldn't allow him to be part of a Kern County community event. I don't know what happened to him, but I'm here. And so how it works is to get the honorary position, you run for 6 to 7 weeks, raising money for a nonprofit or a community something. I will say that his is for the Kern Valley Junior Rodeo Association. And again, mine is for the fireworks. Mine is for keeping traditions alive in our community, because to me, if we lose those traditions, then what else are we gonna lose? Will we lose Whiskey Flat Days? What's the next thing that we'll lose? So to win, we have to raise the most money. Whoever raises the most money gets the honorary position. And then after I win, because I'm gonna win, it's one rodeo that cowboy is not winning, I'm gonna work to bring back the boat parade on the lake during Christmas time. So I'm taking it a little bit further than honorary. I'm working to bring back old traditions in the community.
How fabulous. Well, you seem too good for politics to me. I really enjoyed your presentation, your enthusiasm for your community.
Thank you.
It's striking,
Thank
really.
you.
Mick?
That was the first time I ever had to encourage Jamie to come up and speak. Anytime she sees a microphone, she's all over it. Jamie, thanks for all you do. I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's supposed to be great weather.
You're a grand marshal.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
I wasn't going to say that, but I owe you money now.
So you get to be in front of me in the float in the parade this time, but just know one day I'll be in front of you.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind.
I like it.
Those fireworks are also excellent. They're the Saturday before July 4th every year.
So this year, every 7 years, the fireworks show falls on the actual 4th of July. When the 4th of July falls on a Saturday, we get the fireworks over the lake on the actual 4th of July. So they came with a price tag of $35,000. And Mr. Fred Clark with the Kern River Valley Chamber of Commerce got him to come down 10 grand from that.
Yeah.
So, but it's really taking
it's
to make
just
it happen.
Moment to, it's beautiful.
It is so beautiful.
The evening, the fireworks going off, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's the place to be in Kern County for the 4th of July, in my opinion.
I'm going to cut you off really quick because I'm good at that.
No, it won't be the first time.
So the one thing that we are able to bring back this year with the campaign is during the fireworks show, the local radio station, KC&Q, is going to have patriotic music to go along with the fireworks during the entirety of the show. Yep.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And the Whiskey Flat Parade is this weekend. It's Saturday
At 10.
at 10 o'clock. Everybody's looking forward to it. It's a great time to be out and enjoy Kern County at its best.
And anyone who's coming the backside of the lake, just know that the High Patrol is shutting down Sierra Way from 9 to noon.
Okay, got it. That's coming from Ridgecrest more
Yep.
than is from Bakersfield.
Well, my opponent's in Tehachapi, so
This has been a wonderful conversation, Jamie.
thank you so
Yeah.
much. Am I done?
Yes, you're done. Thank you very much. You're beautiful and you're done. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
representing
I'll
your
see you
community
this
as well as
weekend.
you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do. Marvelous. That's a fabulous tradition, Mick.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it really, what a great community.
Great weekend. Highly encourage everybody to come.
It's a great community. Fantastic. Well, thank you for being here, and best of luck to you in your campaign. Item number 3 is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your name before making your presentation. Now is your time. Okay. Board member announcements or reports, colleagues? Anything? Okay, we're going to move right along to item number 6 under Agriculture and Measurement Standards. Hearing an proposed ordinance adding Chapter 5.84 to Title 5 of the Kern County Ordinance Code concerning permitting for industrial hemp cultivation and proposed resolution relating to registration fees for industrial hemp cultivation. And Mr. Frankhauser, I hope I said that right. Fankhauser, excuse me. I was telling myself, don't say that, and then, of course. So, excuse me, Fankhauser?
Yes.
Excellent. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair Perez. Supervisors, we found ourselves in a position where we thought it was necessary to bring forth an ordinance regarding industrial hemp to allow us to collect fees involved with administering the program. Primarily, our concern was that we wanted to get a handle on quote-unquote research institutions and research grows in Kern County. We had some entities that were not making proper use of the research authorization. Under current state law, research institutions are not required to obtain a permit to grow industrial hemp under research. So we wanted to make sure that those research growers were abiding by other regulations, including pesticide regulations. So I wanted them to come to me to obtain a research permit. And we also wanted to put a reasonable size limit on research grows. So we wanted them to be 1 acre or less. Before there was no limit on the size. Other than that, for the other registrations, this is a unique crop in that there's a testing requirement, and should the crop test higher in THC content than the state allows, they need to destroy the crop. So in order to indemnify ourselves so that we weren't bearing that cost of destruction, we wanted a deposit. It's not really a fee, it's a deposit that should destruction of the crop be necessary, we have that money that we can use. If it's not used, if they're able to harvest their crop normally, then that's refunded at the end of the growing season. We also decided to implement what we call essentially a good neighbor buffer to residences of 100 feet. So if you have any questions, I'll entertain those questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Director Ovia, did you want to add anything at this time? No. Are there members of the public who would like to weigh in on this issue? If so, now is the time to do so. Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public portion of this hearing. Oh, excuse me. And state your name for the record, sir. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes, excuse me.
Good morning, supervisors and staff. David Abbasi, candidate for 5th District Supervisor. I'm here to talk about the industrial hemp ordinance that it looks like you're passing without much public input. I think this is due mainly to the fact that it kind of just popped up, and I think it would be recommended. It's recommended that you guys table this matter and carry it to the next meeting so that there could be more public input and more people can weigh in on this matter, since this is something that, of course, will affect the general public. Regarding industrial hemp, as you know, there was an effort recently that eradicated somewhere around 500 acres of hemp, some of it because it was testing hot. Just because hemp tests higher than the 0.3 THC threshold, it doesn't turn into marijuana. It's still hemp. It's just testing higher, right? So it's surprising to me that the sheriffs somehow, they knew the law regarding the research permits or the research hemp. And what the purpose of that is to be able to select and identify the most vigorous and the most desirable strains, because they don't always grow the same. And once they are able to select those strains, they can then take those seeds and then regrow them to bring out those healthy traits, those desirable traits, and to get it under that 0.3 or at least at that 0.3 THC threshold. So, you know, they had the right to possess that hemp and to do that, and so for the Sheriff's Department to eradicate it, knowing the law, it seems confusing to me why they would do that and potentially incur $1 billion in liability. You guys are not the experts when it comes to these things. That's why Measure D is on the ballot, because experts wrote it and put it on the ballot. The Measure E that the county put on the ballot is a short-sighted monopoly attempt, and we know from past experience we can't trust the board when it comes to this matter.
Mr. Abbasi, can you keep your comments to the item on the agenda, please?
We'll stick to the hemp.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And, you know, we just would like to have an opportunity to have this reviewed and more public input before you guys make your decision. I think we do need industrial hemp regulations, and we do need to have research permits, but my understanding is the state is no longer issuing those permits. So I'm not sure how this is going to work with the county being able to permit these things. So just ask that you carry this over till next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bossi. Are there any other members of the public that would like to weigh in on this matter? If so, now is the time to do it. Please, sir, come on down. If you're going to speak, please come to the front row. It'll just make the meeting go smoother. Sir, your thoughts?
Jonathan Mills with Eco Hemp of California, Delano, California.
Mr. Mills, welcome.
As a hemp farmer, I support the Department of Agriculture in this, and I just wanted to say that with the established research institutions, we need to rein it in a little more. We need to set regulations so they're not given the free rein that they have right now. And really, I just wanted to support the Agricultural Commissioner.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Real short.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Natalie.
And good morning.
Good morning. How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Fabulous for being here. May I ask a question before my time begins?
No, ma'am.
What the heck is CEQA, the acronym?
It is the California Environmental Quality Act. It sets environmental standards for what must occur for development.
Okay, well, I'm a firm believer that hemp is good. It can be used for medicinal purposes. There have been numerous studies done that show not just hemp, but also marijuana is good for you sometimes. Thanks for answering that question. As the next season comes, we all know that our community is based on ag. Our county, north, south, east, west, that's what we do out here, ag and oil. So as the weather becomes increasingly unpredictable, I have a few suggestions. Take that into consideration. Sometimes marijuana is good. Sometimes hemp's good. It's all different for everybody. And thank you, Mr. Mills, for what you had to say. Therefore, moving forward, there can't always be so much legislation to where people can't perform their jobs or provide for their community. Please always be fiscally responsible to the environment. Stop setting so many measures. This, that, this. Like, it's super simple. If you want to grow it, grow it. If you want to smoke it, smoke it. If you want to ride it, ride it. Just be responsible about it. Safety's of the utmost issue we continually have. And so thanks for those raises those guys got. Location, transportation, power, availability, budgetary control.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other members of the public that would like to weigh in on this matter? Okay. I would ask staff if they want to respond to any of the comments made. If so, please do so now.
My office did hold a workshop with all the registered hemp growers that we currently have, and that went well. It didn't seem that there was too much opposition. Also, to address Mr. Abbasi's point about industrial hemp, by federal as well as state definition, industrial hemp is only cannabis which tests 0.3 or below. If it tests above 0.3, it's automatically marijuana. So.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification. Are there questions from the board? I don't see anyone has chimed in. Okay. Well, then I'll ask the board for a motion.
Motion on staff's recommendation.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes. Thank you for all your comments and input. I appreciate it.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, we are going to move to item number 18, which is under the County Administrative Office, a mid-year status report for fiscal year 2019-20 budget for general and fire funds. Mr. Alsop, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. Before I turn this over to Ms. Martinez in my office to provide this report, I did want to just, we're entering into budget season. This is a mid-year report on this fiscal year, but I do just want to take the opportunity to thank our great employees and the leadership of our department heads all across the board, with particular thank you to the fire chief, who I've really appreciated working with over the many months he's been in his position, and his efforts to reduce costs where he can, which is incredibly difficult and getting more and more so to do without closing down fire stations or layoffs or any of this stuff. I just wanted to make, for the record, a statement that this office appreciates all the efforts that are being put in by the chief and his leadership team at the fire department and his collaboration with our office, and we look forward to more of that going forward. And with that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Martinez.
Madam Chair and members of the board, good morning. This report provides a status of the fiscal year 1920 general fund budget at the mid-year point of the fiscal year. The county budget for the general fund is tracking as amended for adjustments made prior to December 31st. General fund departments have spent 45% of budgeted appropriations, which is about 1.4% higher than last fiscal year during the same period. For the general fund, mid-year reports submitted by departments indicate that most departments are tracking within budget, including those departments that committed the use of budget savings incentive credits in their adopted budget. The district attorney's revenue collections associated with various programs remain a concern, but we are committed to working with the district attorney's staff to evaluate the department's financial situation prior to the end of the fiscal year. At the midpoint of the fiscal year, the general fund has collected approximately $153 million in property-related revenue. We anticipate an additional $2.3 million in this revenue than originally budgeted. An additional $426,468 in interest income and collection of a one-time grant is expected. These revenue increases are partially offset with projected declines in hazardous waste facility and transient occupancy taxes. Discretionary revenue overall is currently projected to meet budget estimates. We have provided attachment 8 of the report that displays the forecast for the remainder of the year. Our office continues to track local public safety funding, known as Prop 172, and realignment funds very closely. These funds represent a major source of funding for general fund and non-general fund departments. Public safety departments have benefited over the past several years than higher than base Prop 172 funding. You may recall that our consultant estimated that the county sales tax was going to decline for Prop 172, and we recommended release of reserve to maintain higher allocations to departments the past 3 fiscal years. At mid-year, collections are tracking slightly higher than budgeted. However, we do not expect significant growth in this revenue type for next fiscal year. 1991 realignment projected increases are mainly associated with CalWorks and family support sub-accounts. Increases in this revenue do not affect service levels, as the state offsets their contribution for any increases we see in 1991 realignment. The adopted budget included also $6 million in appropriations for contingencies. Over the past 4 years, your board has set aside funds in appropriations for contingencies for the Sheriff Deputy Training Program. The academy that began on February 3rd is anticipated to backfill up to 25 vacancies. The sheriff anticipates to draw down approximately $662,000 against the contingency included in the budget, and it is anticipated that the sheriff will need to continue training approximately 35 to 40 individuals per year to keep up with attrition. The 1920 budget included also the use of $4.3 million of carry-forwards and reserves. At the beginning of the fiscal year, reserves and designation totaled $182 million. As noted on page 6 of the report, changes in the reserves were related to countywide blast remediation, for $416,000, and $1.8 million to fund a portion of the construction of the Low Barrier Navigation Center in order to provide shelter and access to services to homeless individuals. Your board has prudently set aside reserves and designations for specific purposes. This afternoon, your board will be asked to consider a request to release funds from designation to cover a payment to the state related to prior year 1115 waiver liabilities associated with Kern Medical Center. At this time, we do not anticipate any additional release of designations prior to the end of the fiscal year. And if requests arise, we'll come to your board with that information. While this report presents information on the general fund, there's a few funds that we are monitoring. The fire department expenditures are tracking higher than anticipated, and revenue estimates are only slightly above budget. As Mr. Alsop indicated, the department continues to implement strategies to reduce expenditures and increase revenue. This office is committed to working with the fire chief to find solutions to the fiscal challenges. Moving on to Department of Human Services, based on the most recent claim to the state, the Department of Human Service administrative budget is projected to be within adopted funding. Our office will continue to work with the department and evaluate the financial situation after the second quarter claim has been completed and reviewed. The Department of Human Service assistance budget included a request of $9.5 million to cover anticipated cost increases for continuum of care reform, foster care, adoptions, and general assistance. Only $5.4 million was included in the adopted budget, and if costs materialize, additional funding for $4.1 million would need to be covered. Based on the monthly assistance claims, the department anticipates the cost to exceed budgeted appropriations by $3.4 million. This increase will be partially funded with state general fund and available 2011 realignment. We will monitor the activity over the next months, and if any identified increases to the department net general fund costs will be brought back to your board for consideration. Finally, Behavioral Health and Recovery Services Department has grown the delivery system to meet the needs of the community and the state requirements. While the fiscal year 2019 budget revenue and expenditures projections are on target, the department budgeted to use a sizable amount of carry forward this fiscal year. Any future growth for the department will need to develop new revenue sources. The department and this office are very closely together monitoring the state changes. The future of specialty mental health, substance use disorder services, and the funding for Medi-Cal for the department is changing. The state is working toward more integrated care and payment reform that could potentially change the county roles in providing services. All departments, again, are encouraged to do conservative spending throughout the remaining of the fiscal year to preserve general fund resources for next year. The recommended action at this time is to receive and file, and our next budget discussion will be on your next meeting, February 25th, to present to your board the budget guideline for next fiscal year. This concludes my prepared remarks, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. There are members of the public that would like to ask questions or weigh in on that mid-year budget report. Seeing none, I'll return to my colleagues. I don't see anyone punched in, but I'll return for comments, question, or action. Thank you. Supervisor Couch? Is your mic on?
Thank you. We need to include that in the budget, fixing that button. I'll make a motion to receive and file. I want to ask you about your, I think you said 182 million in reserves. Is that the right number? Does that include even, and I always use this example, for example, people are paying a small amount on their property tax for various things. One that always comes to mind is, it is in the way the district boundaries used to be configured. Pine Mountain Club had a reserve that they paid into so you could get replacement of a guardrail on the road that brought you down to Pine Mountain Club. Are all the reserves included in that number?
Supervisor Couch, through the chair, no, those are the reserves in the general fund. Other funds within the county have their own reserves.
Okay, can you give us a general breakdown of what the reserves are for the general, that make up the 182 million? You happen to have that right there? Yes. Thank you.
Supervisor Couch, on July 16, we presented to your board a report that actually breaks down all the reserves by different categories. Your board has a $40 million general reserve. This is the reserve needed in case of emergencies. We believe that's the minimum amount that you need. You also have set up funds to pay the liability related to Kern Medical, so that is also in the general fund. We have the retirement reserve that we have been using to backfill departments for the retirement increases.
Can you provide us with that document that you're reading from?
Absolutely, I'd be happy to share a copy.
Gotcha. Thank you. I don't have my iPad today, so I'm going a little bit blind. Thank you. So I've made a motion to receive and file.
Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Chairman, you have a motion, and we have a second?
Well, I wanted to ask a question.
Forgive
I
me.
wanted a little clarity on that before I make a second. On the $40 million reserved for general fund, is that the minimum or maximum, or why? I thought that used to be 50, now it's 40. Is that because we worked that down over the past couple of years, or what's going on with that?
Supervisor Gleason, through the chair, the best practice is to have 1% of your generally collected revenue. So we try to keep 1% of our property taxes, of our discretionary revenue. Our discretionary revenue is approximately $372 million. So we try the minimum that recommended practices is 1%. We're at $40 million, which is slightly above the 1%.
So we're in good standing for our debt rating and our credit rating and all those ratings in order to borrow money.
I don't want to speak for the credit agencies, but we are look at very conservative, and your board being very prudently setting aside research for the right purposes.
Thank you. I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Supervisor. I see Couch and, Supervisor Couch and Supervisor Gleason have punched in. Anyone else? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That brings us to the end of our morning session, and we will adjourn to close and be back at 2 p.m. So, Supervisor Couch, thank you for your motion to adjourn. Without objection, so ordered.